Look, we got Reddit accounts abandoned for disturbing reasons. Now, I don't know what to expect with this video. I think it's gonna be informative. Usually these type of videos they be kind of like a little creeping me out a little bit because it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know. I think one time I seen what was it? This dude, I think he told a bunch of people there's something was gonna happen somewhere, but then he got a bunch of people to really just meet up there. And if something would have happened, they probably could have all I don't know. Reddit got some demons on there. I ain't even gonna lie with you. I ain't gonna cap. Without further ado, man, we gonna get right into this one. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch and everything else. I'm still Omari. Let's go.
The now abandoned Sustanet account on Reddit looks very ordinary at first glance. Most of its posts were about collecting virtual pets like Tamagotchis or the wildly popular
What's that? That's what he's talking about? That looks cool.
tabletop
I ain't never
war
seen that
game
before.
Warhammer 40,000. More specifically, Sustanet was interested in painting Warhammer minifigures and sharing his work on the internet.
My bad. Before I say this, Warhammer has so much that goes, oh my god. My friend tried to show me that shit. Oh my god.
On the 1st of November 2020, he shared another one of these minifigures on the Warhammer subreddit, but this one was a bit different. The finished product. My girlfriend's 9-year-old daughter planned and painted this scheme, with a bit of help from me on the helmet and small bits. She is very proud, and it looks pretty darn good. This post didn't receive much attention at the time, but the few replies it did receive were very positive.
Shout out
Your girlfriend's 9-year-old daughter paints better than any pro painter I've ever seen on eBay. Great work. She should be proud. That's definitely a lot better than some stuff I see from adults. But more recent comments had a much different tone. Have a horrible
I be struggling to paint the sun. Now,
I guarantee I can't do it. She would have been an amazing artist. She could have grown up to be such an amazing artist if she wanted to. I'm sorry, Matt. Amazing artist.
Have a horrible time. What?
She could have grown up to be such an amazing artist if she wanted to. I'm sorry, Maddie. At first, it's unclear what they're referencing, until you look a bit further. The incident started on February 26, 2024. At around 4:30 p.m., Jennifer Soto went to the Hunters Creek Middle School in Orlando, Florida to pick up her daughter Madeline, or known to most as Maddie. But when she asked for Maddie, school staff told her that her daughter never arrived that day. Jennifer initially presumed that Maddie must have gone to her grandmother's office, which was close to the school. Unfortunately, she wasn't there either. So she began searching for Maddie in the surrounding areas on her own, and also told someone to call the police.
911,
that
what's
shit
the
is
location
horrifying.
of your emergency? And do you need police, fire, or medical?
Police possibly. I'm reporting a missing child.
Maddie was officially reported missing at around 8 p.m., triggering an immediate search and rescue effort. Over 50 members of the emergency response team went door-to-door in the neighborhood, asking if anyone had seen Maddie earlier that day. However, despite looking for her all night, they couldn't find a single clue about her whereabouts. The person who dropped her off at school was Jennifer's boyfriend of 7 years, the owner of the Sustanet Reddit account, Stephen Stearns. When asked about it, he claimed Maddie asked to be dropped off a few blocks away from the school so her friends wouldn't see her in Stephen's old car.
So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this strip.
That night, Stearns showed deputies the spot where he says Madeline got out of his car, a silver Lincoln MKZ.
She had also left her phone at home that morning and didn't have a smartwatch or any other trackable devices on her. But just as the situation was starting to look hopeless, investigators found their first lead. Going through her phone revealed messages she sent to her friends where she talked about running away and living in the woods after she turned 13. This prompted a much wider search across the many hiking trails and wooded areas around the school, which unfortunately also led nowhere. With no other options, investigators turned their attention back towards immediate family, and especially Stephen. He was the last person who saw Maddie, turning him into a prime suspect in her disappearance. Stephen, however, stuck to his story.
When I left her, she was on the other side of the street.
They always do.
Through her backpack and just kind of moving towards the school area.
Let me get that out of the way.
In the meantime, Jennifer went to the media to help spread the word about her missing daughter.
I want her to be okay, and I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed.
That shit is so sad, bro.
I just want her back. Whatever that means. I just want her back.
What she didn't know was that the person responsible for Maddie's disappearance was sitting right beside her. You see, Stephen had told the officers about multiple locations he went to after dropping off Maddie before returning home, including a vape shop and a game store.
To me, like, how can you just sit there and just like like obviously this dude is like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like how do you like he just like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to say like normal, but like he's like functioning well after he just got. I
When
can't.
officers checked CCTV footage, they saw him driving in the area, but never entering any of the places he claimed to have visited, almost as if he was just creating potential alibis in case he was ever questioned. CCTV footage.
And why did he think he was gonna get away? Like knowing there's millions and millions of cameras. Like, do people think sometimes? Like,
Footage around his apartment complex also showed him making a stop and discarding items into a dumpster before driving away, something he didn't mention at all during questioning. When investigators checked the dumpster, they found a school backpack containing Maddie's purple hoodie and her school laptop.
oh my god.
This resulted in Stefan getting arrested on the morning of February 28. But
Now you're trying to be funny. This nigga like Kevin Stefanski.
many aspects of the case were still unknown. The
Piece of
final
shit.
piece of the puzzle was discovered on February 29th when police discovered CCTV footage of Stefan driving with Maddie strapped in the front seat. However, she was slumped over, indicating that she was likely knocked out. This made even more sense when investigators also found a purchase record of him buying sevoflurane from Walmart 2 days before Maddie went missing. Sevoflurane, for those who don't know, is a medical anesthetic similar to chloroform. Footage from a hotel's
But why did he
parking lot
do
also
that
showed
shit?
him taking her out of the front seat and putting her in the trunk.
Oh.
Then, on the 1st of March, investigators received a tip from someone who saw him changing his car's tire on Hickory Tree Road on the morning of February 26, and a search of the area revealed that him having to stop on the road wasn't a coincidence. In the wooded
Damn.
area just off the road, officers found the remains of Maddie, hidden under some grass, confirming Jennifer's worst fear. Stefan was charged with first-degree murder and was sentenced to 21 life sentences without parole in July 2020.
You're disgusting. Like, how can you be in somebody's life and just take? Like, how could you do that to somebody? Like, you gotta be like scum of the earth.
24, with the pictures of Maddie he previously posted on his now abandoned Reddit account serving as a constant reminder of his heinous crime.
Disgusting. It's a kid living life, man.
On September 30, 2017, Reddit user KillaCun made a post on the stand-up comedy subreddit talking about the passing of comedian Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal doesn't get the proper recognition he deserves. If not for his unfortunate, untimely early passing, he would without a doubt be considered the greatest comedian of all time. And while many agreed with him in the comments, the top reply had a different tone. If not for his unfortunate, untimely early passing. Yeah, like your son? This comment was referring to the tragedy that happened just 3 days after this post. Almost a year before this post, the OP posted a picture of a baby holding a computer mouse to his ear titled, "My son thinks everything is a phone." It was a very innocent, wholesome post. Sadly, a year later, it would become a reminder of the horrific incident that happened on October 3, 2017. That day, 27-year-old Christopher Kunn, the man behind the KillaCun account, took his then 2-year-old son to the Levittown Town Center Walmart in Pennsylvania. But he wasn't there to shop. Immediately after entering the store, Christopher tried to shoplift a $228 soundbar. He was confronted by security officers trying to stop him from leaving. Security also called the police, resulting in him getting more scared, shouting, "You can't hold me here," and rushing back to his car with his 2-year-old son. The son climbed into the back seat, leading Christopher to make the worst mistake he could have made in that situation. He forgot to strap him into the toddler seat.
Oh my god.
Instead, he climbed into the driver's seat and sped off. He wasn't even being chased by the police yet, but he kept driving at an unsafe speed. He then tried to run a red light at an intersection just a few hundred feet from the Walmart. Unfortunately, that's where his luck ran out. In an effort to flee the scene, he T-boned another vehicle, resulting in his car rolling over. Christopher himself was buckled in, allowing him to come out of the crash with minimal injuries.
Of course.
Sadly, his son was ejected from the car and landed violently on the roadway, passing away on the spot. Witnesses also saw Christopher stepping out of the car and looking at the remains of his own son before continuing to flee on foot. Fortunately,
Wow. I don't even know what to say, bro. I hope they. Oh my god. I hope jail is doing him the worst way. Oh my
Finally,
god.
the police arrived at the scene moments
Prison,
later
whatever.
and arrested Christopher, who was trying to hide in the plants next to the road. Further investigation revealed that he was under the influence of drugs, which may have
Of
contributed
course.
to his erratic behavior. Christopher also turned out to have an extensive criminal record, including theft, fraud, terroristic threats against his wife, and many more. He was also driving with a
I've
suspended
never
license
even heard of that. Terroristic threats against your wife?
due to prior drug possession. He stood trial on March 28, 2018.
Bro,
on
he better
charges
not
of
ever see the light of
third-degree
day.
Murder, child endangerment, and others. He was later sentenced to 8.5 to 30 years in prison. And as far as I was able to find, he remains behind bars, with no reports of his release.
Hope you stay there for the
On
rest
the
of your life,
11th of
gang.
August 2018, Reddit user Galpticos posted a very run-of-the-mill meme on the Dank Memes subreddit. There was nothing too notable about it, and it received little attention at the time. But if you visit the post today, you'll see strange comments like, "Bro, this is crazy. The history behind this guy is actually insane. This is actually disturbing. He's probably in hell now."
Wow.
They seem very out of place at first, but learning what the owner of this account did, they're not all that surprising. You see, there were two constants on the Galpticos Reddit account, Fortnite and depression. The owner of the account, 19-year-old Farhan Tawheed, often discussed his mental health struggles with others on the site, and things seemed to be looking up for him. One of the most recent comments on his account was a reply to a post
Damn,
asking
she's going
depressed
fast.
people how they were doing that day, to which Farhan replied, "The past few weeks have been great. I finally moved on from 2 toxic relationships that I was trying to hold on to for way too long. Thanks for asking." It looked like he was looking
Oh my god. I don't want to seem like I'm. Does he mean like the parents or something?
forward to improving his life. Unfortunately, that's not how things played out. The incident happened on the night of April 5th at around 1 a.m. when Farhan posted a Google Drive link to his Instagram. Inside was a 7-page document detailing what he was about to do and why. It opened with the chilling line, "Hey everyone, I killed myself and my family. If I'm going to die, I might as well get some attention." The rest of the document went on to detail the plan he made with his brother to purchase guns and take out the rest of his family.
With
when
his
the time
brother?
came. He talked about how his depression had persisted for most of his life, and that there were many people who tried to help him, but they all failed and eventually ended up ghosting him. In a segment about happiness, he wrote, "It's not fair. I did everything right, every little thing right, and I'm still just apathetic. Everyone's allowed to worry about their future, and I can't even think about what I'm going to do tomorrow without enduring an existential crisis. It's not fair how everyone can be so content while I can't even fathom being happy. No matter what I do, I just can't be happy." He also mentioned his reason for ending his family as well, which essentially boiled down
like
to
what?
they'll be sad after he's gone, so this is a better option. He was
This nigga is just selfish. That's the most selfish, stupid shit I've ever heard in my life.
clearly facing serious mental struggles, but at this point it was already too late. One of his friends noticed the concerning Instagram post and requested a welfare check. Officers arrived at the scene just a few
Shout out
minutes
to her,
later.
man.
Unfortunately, there was nothing they could do. The house was fully locked, and by the time they managed to break in, all 6 family members had already passed away from
Wow,
gunshot wounds.
that's crazy.
Leaving Farhan's abandoned Reddit account as a snapshot of how he felt leading up to the brutal massacre.
Yeah, you deserve to be in hell, man.
NM writes,
That's crazy. I don't think it can anything get worse than this shit.
Nicholas Cassotis became a prominent horror fiction writer on Reddit in 2019, with some of his stories receiving tens of thousands of upvotes. What none of his readers knew, however, was that the writer of these fictional horror stories would end up living through something similar himself. As a fan's comment on his last post on Reddit states, "You were always a good writer, but a bad husband." His crime first came to light on
Damn.
December 2nd, 2022. When a group of hunters found a human torso inside a plastic container at a hunting park in Riceboro, Georgia. When police arrived at the scene, they found another plastic container and a knife nearby. A more thorough search of the area also revealed several other dismembered parts of the same person.
Oh
scattered
my
in a
god, I didn't
3-mile
hear
radius
that.
of the
What?
initial
Dismembered? Oh my god.
finding. Unfortunately, it took until May 11 to identify the person through DNA testing. This turned out to be
Wow.
Mindy Cassotis, a 40-year-old woman from Savannah, Georgia. The The very next day, police arrested 4-year-old Nicholas Casotis, known online as NM Wrights, as the prime suspect in the case. He was married to another woman named Samantha by this point and was living with her in Pennsylvania. Investigation into his past revealed that Mindy Casotis was actually his second wife. He got divorced from his first wife and was ordered to pay $1.5 million in alimony in 2016.
Oh my God.
But instead of paying the amount, he went on the run and married Mindy the same year. They ended up moving to many different places over the years, eventually settling in an Airbnb with their parents in Savannah, Georgia.
Dang, I didn't even know. I thought they would really try to track you down. I didn't know you could just.
Then, on the 1st of December 2022, he told her parents that she went to the hospital for high blood pressure related issues. There, the situation got worse, and she ended up passing away due to a stroke. Not long after that, he moved to Pennsylvania to marry Samantha, his now third wife. This appeared to be a very open and shut case of him taking the life of his wife and running away to a new location to hide. He stood trial on August 5, 2025, and that's when he came out with his version of what happened, which to any of his readers sounded like another one of the fictional stories he used to write on Reddit. According to Nick, his name appeared in a 2016 article about exposing a scandal in the US military. Looking through that article now, it shows that his name was only mentioned in passing and had little to do with the scandal. But according to Nick, he started experiencing strange occurrences after this mention, like unauthorized charges on his bank account or mail disappearing from his mailbox. So he contacted the FBI, and that's when he met an FBI agent named Jim McIntyre. Nick claimed that Jim became his handler from that point on. He managed his finances, helped him move several times to avoid the powerful people.
Is this nigga? I just realized that. I think, is he trying to make this into I know he just said it sounds like a story, but like, is that what he's trying to do? If he is, this guy is like.
Who were after
people
him,
are disgusting,
and even
man.
helped him sell one of his horror stories to Sony. Jim even went as far as to get him a remote job at a software company. This resulted in him and Mindy fully trusting Jim and doing everything he said, even sticking with him through disagreements.
But you didn't cut ties with Jim, correct?
We did not, no. Mindy felt that Jim was our, our angel. She said, he had made mistakes, but, we would be in the position to fix all those mistakes, and if we stopped working together, then who knows, if his resolve to see this end in our favor was going to go away,
Nick then told the same story he told her parents, that she went to the hospital for a checkup and ended up passing away. He also added that the hospital had cremated her remains before he could see her. Mindy's mother later testified that she believed Nick because she had no reason not to. He also told her that Mindy likely died due to the carelessness of a nurse and that he was going to file a lawsuit against the hospital. But instead of following through, he left her house not long after. This story he was giving already sounded like fiction by this point. But Nick stayed adamant that every part of it was true. Maybe he thought this would be enough to convince the jury of his innocence, especially since there was no direct proof of his involvement. Unfortunately for him, the prosecution came prepared with undeniable circumstantial evidence. For instance, purchase records revealed that he bought things like latex gloves, a shovel, and a hunting knife set leading up to the crime. Cell phone data also showed that his car was present at the hunting park in Riceboro, Georgia on December 1st. Most importantly, investigators discovered that he was in a relationship with Samantha while he was still married to Mindy. He likely wanted to be with Samantha but didn't want to go through the divorce process again, so he decided to end her life instead. He also tried to cover his tracks by sending an email to Mindy's parents from a burner email account, claiming that he had died in an accident just so they wouldn't think of coming after him. Nick believed that writing horror stories about familial crimes
gave you could tell that these stories got to this nigga's head, because this nigga's delusional. What the fuck?
Him the ability to lie his way out of the consequences of his actions. Fortunately, he was sorely mistaken. The trial ended on August 14, 2025, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Thank you, man. These people don't deserve no other chances, bro. I don't care. Yeah, that was... I'm gonna be honest. These were all, like, honestly disturbing and horrific, but I think... Which one was it? This one? With this dude? What's his name? I forgot his name, but this one... I don't know, this one was completely just like, it gave me the nastiest ick ever. Yeah, he deserves to be in hell. I'm gonna be honest. That's crazy. Rest in peace to all the people that died in this, man, because, like, nobody deserves their life to be snuffed out because somebody else feels a certain way. This dude took out his whole family because he said they would be sad without him. They would be sad, obviously, but like, you don't think they would want to live? Goofy. Like, I know, like, people don't like. It's not good to like. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like, it's hard. I don't like talking about the dead, but like seriously, fuck this dude. This guy's a weirdo. Without further ado, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Well, not enjoyed, but like, you know. But without further ado, we're out.